Larry's Off-Road? Yeah. That I've got them in. They're here. Can I call you back? I'm just getting ready to do my very first podcast. We're actually just getting ready to start. Yeah, I probably got those. I'll call you back in about 15 minutes. I will call you. All right. Thanks. Bye. I am Larry from Larry's Off-Road Center. This is my very first podcast. I know we've been talking about it for a while. We've got the merch, we've got the stickers, we've got the banners. Now we're going to have the podcast. I have my beautiful wife Marty with me. She's going to help me. She'll feed me some ideas and keep me focused so that I don't just ramble on.
And you got your kids out there that are going to cut us off
if we don't. So our podcast, we're going to dive into the history of Larry's Off-Road Center, BugJam, VW Nationals, VW art that we've run through all the years, VW artists that we've dealt with. We may do a little tech, mostly stories. It's just mostly stories of what has happened in these walls, in this hallowed ground of Larry's Off-Road Center over the last 48 years, soon to be 50. So this podcast, our first podcast, is kind of like we're going to go into BugJam. We're going to start with some BugJam stuff because BugJam's coming up this weekend, and we will go on to the story of how Larry's Off-Road Center got started in another podcast, and that'll be a whole other thing. So
okay, we want to first describe to you overall what BugJam was to us. It was a chance to provide our customers with somewhere to show their bugs, as well as for us to show our appreciation to them. And the way that we did that was through artwork, games. We had children's games. We've had everything you can imagine. We've had the family cooking food. We've had Mamaw making sausage gravy. I mean, we've had it all. Yep. Larry, when was our first BugJam? I can't remember.
1982, as near as we can figure, based on this dash plaque that said third annual was 84. So that's how we do our math here. The early BugJams were just kind of a thank you, like Marty said. Thanks for buying parts from us. Thanks for keeping us going. I can remember we were digging around for plaques, but those first early BugJams, I remember we were getting trophies from someplace on Watervliet Boulevard. I can't remember the name of it, but we were getting trophies those years, and we don't have any around because we passed every one of them out. I think we bought 15 trophies, and that was in those early BugJams, what kind of cars were here? I'm going to say the first were mostly sandrails and dune buggies because it started out with me welding sandrails together. We'll go into the history of Larry's Off-Road Center. That'll be a hook to get us back in here some other time when we kind of started as Larry's Welding and changed to Larry's Off-Road Center as we got into car stuff. So, but anyway, those early BugJams were, like Marty said, in front of the house. Mom would make biscuits and gravy. Sharon's husband, Bill, was manning the grills. So a lot of family participation for sure, because we didn't have employees. It was
family run,
family and kids. That was making it happen.
I want to talk to you a little bit about one year that was kind of special to me. We had our artist, Joe Bohr, so he could pretty much draw up anything we could dream up. And at that time, my kids were in school and they were participating in the DARE program, which was to keep kids off drugs. And we thought, well, wow, that'd be a great idea to give kids a hobby like building a bug, instead of, being out on the streets, running around doing whatever. And so we created a logo that was Keep on Bugging. And that was our take on, and then we had a further thing that was Do Bugs, Not Drugs. And we'll try to find one of those plaques. I don't know where they are at this point, but we'll try to find one.
Tim Gentry he always still wears that Do Bugs, Not Drugs hat.
Oh, well, we'll get a picture of Tim with that. Okay. Tim Gentry, one of our customers, I gotta say, he was probably at the very first Bug Jam on
I'm
a
sure he
trike.
was. I'm sure he was.
And then I
With
gotta say
Dracos.
that he still comes in here
Saw him
50
last
years
week.
later with some of those same shirts on, which always crack us up, and we get pictures of him. So we'll get him on here one of these
Another
days.
thing kind of in that do bugs not drugs thing was, and I don't know if you remember Dance Zone. Remember that? We had them at Hair Arena that one year. I can barely remember what,
Yes,
but
I
they
forgot
had a
that.
good family helping kids, and I
Right.
don't remember if it was a dance thing. They
Yeah.
came and danced at, and I think we had
Uh-huh.
even something on. We'll dig up some of that old art and some of those old flyers. I think we even did a Dance Zone shirt at one point, maybe. Yeah, we'll
Probably
have to dig
so.
around
We'll
it.
have to
I'm
dig.
sure it was neon
I
pink.
know you have at least that I've counted 17 tubs of
Tubs
old
of
Larry's
shirts.
shirts, and that's one of each, not a tub of each, but one shirt.
We've done a few shirts.
That's a lot of
That
shirts.
starts back to some art and plaques. We'll have a lot of different segments because we've got a lot of time to cover in the 48 years. Um, the plaques that we've done, dash plaques that we've done, we're still. And at one point, I'm rambling because there's a lot of material to cover. But at one point, we have used the same people to do our printing all these years for our shirts. Started out with a friend. Their business eventually closed. Their employees took over, started a new business, T&L Custom Screen. They're still doing our T-shirts. They used to make our plaques in the early. I mean, they made the very nice multicolored plaques. We uh, loved their job they did. But at one point, we became, I think, the only customer they had left that was getting plaques. So they said, "Hey, we're not doing this anymore. You're either going to have to do it yourselves or get somebody to do it." So they gave us all their old paint, and they said, well, they'll make the screens for us, and they showed us kind of how to do it. So now we make our own plaques. This is this year's plaque for Bug Jam coming up this Saturday. So thanks to our Bug Jam crew, which is basically
Our
me,
family.
Marty, and our family, Jody, Kara, Chelsea, Tyler, Lydia. We even
Lydia,
work in the
Chris,
grandkids now.
Poppy.
Yeah, they're at one point or another, they've all been very involved.
I want to talk a little bit about our name. We started in July of 1977. We weren't married yet. And Larry had a little welding shop right here. His parents had built one pole building here. That was for him to work on cars in. And he decided to be an entrepreneur. And so he had a little welding shop called Larry's Welding. And so at first we were just putting on trailer hitches for people and doing odd jobs. And then he built a buggy himself, which is what led us into this whole 50-year thing. But about our name, there was first Larry's Welding, and then later on, we became Larry's Off Road Center. And that change, I think we incorporated like in 1982 with the name. But our plaques here show that at first we weren't calling our car shows Bug Jam, we were calling them different things like Buggy Show. Um,
Bug and Buggy Bash,
yeah, Bug
Bug
and
and
Buggy
Buggy Bash,
Bash. Uh,
Bug Bash 86. So we had not come up with the name Bug Jam at that point in
right. We're gonna
86.
figure
So
out where we
we'll,
got when we got Bug Jam.
so
We'll let you know on our plaque
definitely
segment.
by 88, 87 possibly. So, but 86 we were still Bug Bash. So that is a little trivia that we are finding out at this moment. So
So mostly over the years, we have used various artists, mostly Joe Bohr, which if you have a collection of our plaques, you'll know that. We've also used our son Joe, our daughter Chelsea, and our friend Tom Triplett. And we have one year that we had one of our customers draw.
hired somebody from Dayton that
Yeah, and
was
he did this one. That's the only time we kind of went outside of our family and friends group to get something drawn.
we had some T-shirts. There was a sandrail, and I think that was Ron's Baja Bug in the picture, and then my old buggy back in the day. But there was two cars in that. That was an early that was our first hired art that we paid for art from somebody. But we'll do a segment even on artists and some of the different art of theirs that we've had. We'll get all that together, and that'll be another podcast. But
Okay, as Larry said, we started out with trophies. We had 15 Humble trophies the first show. And Larry's dad made those every year for a number of years. And even after we went to then the dash plaque idea, Larry's dad still continued to make regular trophies like you win at a sports event. And we'd have rows of them, and we'll get some of those cool little pictures of him out. But then there came a day when he no longer could do that for us. And so at that point, we went to this plaque idea. And that's where we would give out plaques. Sometimes we'd have best of plaques. Looking at this plaque, I discovered this is really a plaque that Tom Triplett did the artwork. I think in an earlier segment, we might have given Joe credit for that, but it's really Tom. Here we've got some of Joe Boer's artwork, and Joe always had a way of putting little things in the picture that you don't see right away. And for example, the little windshield thing here that says too rad, just subtle, but it's another word. This is too radical. So stuff like that. If you look at all of Joe Boer's artwork, you will see that. In a lot of them, you will see either Joe himself or sometimes Larry in the driver's seat. This one says debugged on its windshield. So that's what I mean by his cute little touches that he did for us.
Joe had his ideas and his early art. He started drawing for us when he was in high school, and his favorite artist was, I think it was John Deal, but it was Deal art that was in Hot BW, and that's what he kind of mimicked, or that was where he got his ideas. That style was from the John Deal days. But we knew when we got his first art, his brother had ordered a couple floor pans from us, and Joe, when he sent the money order in, he squiggled a little picture of a bug on the envelope, and we had to ask him, "Hey, whoever drew this, if you could do some art for us, we would be amazed, because this is really cool stuff." And
I think we have that envelope somewhere. We'll have to find it.
And he sent us. It took a while. We never heard from him. It took a while, and he did like 3 drawings for us. He rolled them up in a little tube, which we still have today. Those original art pieces, and we've used them many times, but they were just beautiful art, and that started our relationship with Joe and John Boer. That was amazing for us to have somebody that would work with us. Joe, over the years, did that for high school projects all through high school. Then he went on to college. He was taking art in college, and he used our shows once a year for his art for his school projects. So we had him for a number of years, and eventually he got married, and he worked for Fisher Price, then Play School, and he got pretty busy. So I think that at that point he was ramping up, and we were winding down. So.
Okay, now we're going to turn things over to Chelsea, our daughter, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about her latest plaque she made and her vision for that plaque.
Hey, I'm Chelsea. I'm Larry and Marty's daughter, and this is Tony, my older brother. We wanted to just jump on for a bit to talk about our plaque for 2025 BugJam. We come up with a lot of ideas while we're doing these plaques, and this year my inspiration was really just trying to come up with a plaque that represented like the passion that seeps from any Volkswagen owner's body, just mind and soul, and it's kind of an all-consuming type of hobby for a lot of us, and many of our customers and friends can relate to that. So when I first came up with this idea, my parents and I were eating at Red Robin, and we
unlimited fries.
We were kind of my daughter was there, so we had a kids menu. We started talking about BugJam because that's like a lot of what we talk about, Volkswagen related stuff, what we're going to do next with whatever business thing we're working on. But BugJam came up, and I sketched out the idea that I wanted to do on my daughter's kids menu, and my dad was happy enough with it that we moved forward and came up with this kind of cool design. I love the way that the engine looks like just all you think about and all consuming brain kind of look. So I was really pleased with how it worked. We ended up screening this ourselves in 4 layers. Our 4 layers we did in 4 days so that on Tuesday we could dive right back in and use that workspace for something else. So it went really smooth. And I will say we're earlier than normal on getting this one done. And yeah, I was pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have Chelsea around. She's kind of taken over all of the pretty much all our merch. So she's been in charge of getting all the artwork. She's done some art. She works with a couple different artists, and yeah, she's done all of our plaques,
Yeah,
T-shirts, stickers, the shirt she's wearing now.
Yeah, the design that we came up with, I really felt like I wasn't efficiently getting it onto paper with the vision that I wanted. So this was made by an outsourced artist that I've worked with on a few other projects. But I really enjoy his style. Same style, same artist that did our Skelly Bug shirt, which was a great hit. And yeah, so we're excited to bring this back. We're probably going to take a gap from skeletons for a couple years, but love this look, and we've got lots of good ideas already planned for the next couple of shirts.
BugJam 2025.
Today was our first attempt at a podcast, and we hope you enjoy it. We hope to get a lot better, and we also hope to do more. You got to meet two of my kids today, Tony and Chelsea, and I have to say, we did ruin both of them with the entrepreneurial spirit, which we're pretty proud of that. They each have their own business as well as we have ours. I did want to say that we really appreciate all of you so much, and that we want to grow this podcast. And we hope that some of you will send us things that we've long forgotten. So get on our website and send us an email, maybe some pictures of some of your t-shirts, your shows, whatever you've attended for us. And we look forward to the years to come.
Thanks everyone for coming for all the years. Thanks for coming to BugJam. Thanks for coming to Nationals. And the podcast thing is something we're just getting our feet wet on. We are going to do this, and we've been a little slow starting, but we will keep this regular. We'll keep it simple, and we will follow up with more.
We've got a very special anniversary coming up. In 2 years, we will have been in business for 50 years. So the year 2027, we're going to have a lot of special things going on. But that was the reason we started our podcast now, is we hope to document things, and we want to get all of you involved helping us document that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
This is like, this would be like today a taste of BugJam. That's just like a jar of jam with bugs in it. A taste of BugJam, and then taste of BugJam.
Hey, what
Might be
flavor?
jars.
That might be something you could make some BugJam jelly.
BugJam jam.